What up, folks? Been a while. Kind of been slacking on the farm videos, but I mean, I'll be honest, it's been winter time, and aside from my little ranting videos, it's not exactly a ton of cool footage for you. Did a little track hoe and dozer work over the winter, but we're getting to the time now. It's almost go time. We're here about to be in the beginning of April, and I'm actually here. You can see it, my 8420, my tractor. I got my GPS stuff with me. I got to mount it back in here because I had pulled all it out to run on my combine during harvest time, and so I got to put it back in the tractor. There's a buggy, the red buggy. It's still hooked up. I'm gonna unhook it, and oh, there goes a big mouse or a rat. I'm gonna unhook it so that I can get my tractor out, and next thing I know, I gotta put the planter on. Which is always fun. I got the older style case planters, and it's got the big freaking frame thing that has to bolt up on there. I am excited to get to show you guys the planting scene. I haven't done any videos from that, so that'll be cool to get to show you dudes how we do that. Dudes and dudettes. Boys and girls, men and women. Real quick, I'm repping the shirt. Got the Redcon 1 shirt on. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Go to redcon1.com, and you're going to have to check the description below. I think it's T20L Hanks, I believe, is the code, but I may be lying. So check the description below if you like to pump iron, lift weights, anything. Sleep better. They got sleep supplements, protein, creatine, all the supplements. They're American made, American owned. Cool company that we've paired up with. You can save 20% using that code, so check it out. All right, guys, and wildertactical.com. I got to throw that one out there. Save 10% using the code LOGAH10. I'm going to put all this stuff in the description below, so you can check it out on there too. But, guys, I'm about to get the monitor and the globe that goes right there, and get it all bolted in there and in place. So thanks for tuning in. Glad to see you guys back, and let's do this thing. All right, here we are in the cab. Nothing too wild, too fancy. I don't know that many of y'all have seen this before. This tractor did not have a buddy seat in it originally, so I ordered a kit and put one in it myself. I actually got this one off Shoop Parts, and it actually works pretty good. I mean, you can see it's got a little play, but when somebody sits in it, it like sits down. John Deere makes a kit, but I think this was like $100 or $200 cheaper. So there's my globe. There's the monitor. Here's where it all goes with these two trusty screws. And look at these freaking cables here. This is the main cable in the back. And I'm going to put it on here, screw it in. And I'll probably go ahead and hook it up first, but that's where that goes. There's my planter monitor, and I got to find out a way to link them together. I've got this, it will link up to my GPS so that I'll actually be able to run auto steer like I did last year. But yeah, that's the thing. Got the old Grandpa Augustus there, try to keep the mice out, but gonna get that mounted in here. The receiver up top, and then unhook this thing. So if you've ever wondered about all the stuff, it does have to be calibrated. This is showing me here. I gotta mark a line through there to start the calibration. So I'm about to do that now. We got a line marked, calibrating. Now I think I turn the vehicle around, line up the fixed axle on the same reference line. All right, let's do it. All right, pulling it around. Let's put it in the spot. You're literally just like flipping the tractor around. Okay, we're back here. Line up the fixed axle. It's pretty darn close. And success. We calibrated. Now we're ready to rock and roll. Don't have great mapping service down here, but you can see there's the auto steer. Let's see, I don't remember what I got to do to set that. Set B later. Gotta remember how to turn this on. I'm gonna have to relearn. Well, in typical fashion of John Deere, I was trying to figure out why my auto steer wasn't working, and that WAS thing that was showing on there that I didn't really recognize. Well, that's because now I gotta take the stuff to John Deere and get an update done on the computer. That's something they came out with. They're doing this to outdate older GPS systems. Before long, they'll do that to what I'm running, and then I'll have to buy all new stuff too. So, typical freaking crap right there. So now I'm gonna back up here, hook up the planter, and go from there. All right, so pretty much just like the other thing, I had to put a little jack under here to get the other one off. Now, here's what we hope. I hope that I can let it down, but the tractor holds it enough where I can get my jack out from underneath there. Yeah, she's sitting down pretty far. Oh yeah, we're gonna get her out. Look at that. Nice. I tell you, these old little bottle jacks, they are bad to the bone. A little bitty jack jacked up this big, huge planter here. There's the planter, there she is, in all her glory. Now I gotta put that annoying pump on the back of this thing. All right, now you might have been watching that, wondering to yourself, why is he doing this by himself? And my dad and Bennett were actually working on his planter. I didn't want to mess them up. They're doing that, getting his going. He's got a lot of stuff that he's actually going to update on his planter, whereas I don't have to do that. I don't have as many like openers and stuff wore out as on his. So he's up there, they're working on it. So I got the hair, well, I'll go down here and hook mine up. So that's what I did. Wasn't too bad. But now here's what I was hoping to see. Turn this around. All right, everything is showing. This is what I wanted to make sure. It's all hooked up, showing my seed count. Obviously, I'm gonna have to change all this for corn, but I wanted to make sure it read everything so that I know that, all right, it's linked up and ready to go. And it is. I was finished up planting some beans for my dad, the Marshall farm that they got, Circle H, and pretty cool. Glad to see that everything looks like it's where it needs to be. Here, and like I said, I'll swap it. Kind of changing it over to corn and stuff takes a little while because you got to go through a lot of units, but we'll be ready to rock. Got to get on some spraying. Bennett's going to take over the spraying, so I'll be able to focus on planting. I'll have to kind of get him ironed out on that sprayer, but he's pretty sharp on that, so he'll pick up on that pretty quick. And I'm excited. I'm excited to kind of have a man for the sprayer, so I can plant, me and Dad can plant, Bennett can spray. It makes the world a lot better when you have good manpower to get across the ground. None of us will be getting killed. We'll be working steady, but not getting slaughtered, which will be nice. And hopefully we'll be able to stay on top of things even better now, having another man.
split row planter, 40 foot wide. For some reason that marker likes to raise up on me, but I'll do every other row for corn because it plants 31 rows, 1631 is what they call it. 31 rows beans, 16 rows, or 16 rows of corn. So I'm having to change every other unit and shut these units off. Turn these little cogs right there, if you can see them. I have them together, whereas if they're like that, they're running. So let's take these units off, try to do this one-handed. Loosen that, pull that off there, unlatch this, and then it'll raise up. This vacuum hose has to come off. See if I can hold this in a way that I can pull it off. All right, and then this whole unit comes out, and that comes out just like that. I got my air compressor going over here. Lay the unit down. Take this off. This is the inside of a planter wheel. This is a bean disc. The beans go in there, and that's what puts it out. Whereas there's a corn one. You'll notice corn discs, holes are a lot bigger and not as many. So pull this off. It's kind of tricky doing this one-handed. I'm just gonna have to get to. All right, there's still a few old beans in there. Set this with my other old disc. Pull that off. Take this over here. Dump the beans in this bucket because they stink if you just let them collect. I don't know if you ever smelled rotten beans, but they're terrible. All right, then we're gonna clean this thing up. Got my air compressor here, air hose. So clean that up and drop that unit in. Got to do this whole joker here. So it'll take me a while, but once I get it done, it'll be ready to plant. Pumped up for this year, folks. I'm glad y'all tuned in. I hope you enjoyed the video. No, it wasn't just a wild video for you today, just kind of hooking up the planter, unhooking stuff and checking out everything, but it's about to be rolling. I'm gonna have some cool stuff in store for you, and I just want to thank you for tuning in to the video. And guys, I don't talk about it on this channel very much, but I have a podcast called Living Fully Loaded, and
I've talked some farming on there with my cousin. Every now and then I'll talk about it. I can talk to people all over, farmers, veterans, authors, entrepreneurs. I've had some pretty wild people on there, like Jack Carr, the author and veteran, Terry Hooen, Navy SEAL, Bert Soren, he's the president of Sorenex, Brandon Lilly, he's a good buddy of mine, world champion power lifter, and my cousin Bobby Lee, who's a veterinarian and a cattle farmer, and we talk farming. That's episode 23. If you enjoy my videos, I feel like you might enjoy the podcast too. And every now and then we slip some farming in there. So guys, thanks. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up. Got a lot of cool stuff in store. I'm going to get a lot of cool drone shots of the sprayer, get some bad to the bone drone shots of the planters. I'm excited for this year. So that's enough of me blabbing. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Let's get after it.